Hey gang, this is just a quick tutorial on how I use opportunities in Salesforce. I'm going to start with the desktop, and then later on in the video I'll switch over to the mobile device so you see how it's done there as well. So for starters, here's my home page, and go across the top over to the tabs marked opportunities. I've got my opportunities pinned to open up as my opportunities. You'll see this little pin right here. You can change the view to any one of these. I recommend using this one though. So I also happen to have it set up in Kanban view. If you follow my mouse over here, click that button, you can change your view to a table view. This is kind of convenient if, say, you've got a very large list populated here and what you'd like to do is sort by any of these column names, because you can do that simply by clicking on the column. Notice here when I press factory, it goes from W down to F. I press factory again, it goes from F down to W. Alright, so let's move on. I'm going to switch back to Kanban view because that's my preferred method. One of the nice things about this view is along the top blue ribbon here, you'll see the various stages of opportunities. Within the Kanban view, as you move between stages, you can actually take these cards and rotate them or move them from section to section. So it's a quick, easy way to do that. Simply drag and drop. All right, let's go ahead and enter a new opportunity. And in this case, I'm going to treat this as an aftermarket opportunity. Notice we have 3 different categories. The lower 2 are really going to be used primarily for our OE guys. Although if you have a small OEM and you want to record it as an OEM program, knock yourself out. Okay, so here we go, aftermarket opportunity. Click next. And the first stage is always new opportunity. Close date, let's leave that alone for a moment. And let's come up with an opportunity name. So for the purpose of this example, I am going to use Potter Webster, and we'll say this is an ATRO opportunity. So the way I typically name my opportunities is I start with the short name of the customer. So in this case, let's say it's Potter Webster, so Potter. Then the name of the opportunity, and I'll say ATRO new program. Okay. The account is Potter Webster. I'll pull up the Portland branch. The factory is going to be ATRO in this situation. Under type, is it existing business or is it new? We'll say new for this one. Now let's go back up top. So today is February 12th. Let's say we want to get this done within the next 60 days, so I'll go out to April, let's just call it April 13th. And you do obviously want to have a number in mind. If it's a $500 opportunity, you're wasting your time. So we're going to go for a $50,000 opportunity. And notice that the probability percentage down here is pre-populated. That actually ties to the stage. You don't have to go through and manually change that. You can, but we've got it programmed so that it ties, or it will change automatically depending on the level of opportunity. So here, when we get it into customer evaluation stage, for example, changes it automatically to 50%. All right, so for right now, switch it back to new opportunity. Notice the amount here I've got set at 50 grand. If this were an OE opportunity, we might want to just use the quantity and price. Say we have one particular widget we're selling on one particular model of vehicle. But again, we don't need to do that here. I'll go ahead and fill in the commission rate. I'm going to choose save. So this is now generating that opportunity for us. Here's your opportunity page. Now notice, if we go to the related field, we have no contact roles associated with it. And this is important because you want to assign a team of stakeholders within the customer and within the factory that we represent. So in this case, let's go ahead and add contact roles by clicking that Add Contact Roles button. So I'm going to go ahead and start with Mike Tabor. And so that's added him now. Let's go ahead and add Tony Gardino. And we're just going to use those two contacts for now. Then the system prompts you to choose a role for these. You don't have to do that, but it is very helpful, especially if you've got a larger group of folks. So Mike Tabor in this case, we'll call him an economic decision maker. And Tony Gardino, we'll just scroll down and choose factory contact. All right, so that's good. We're just going to have those two contacts for this particular opportunity. We chose save, and now they've been added here. One other thing you might want to do, especially if you've got a larger group of people, is choose a key primary stakeholder. So in this case, we'll make the primary guy Mike Tabor. You click this drop down arrow, click edit, and you'll see this primary with a checkbox. Go ahead and put a check mark there, choose save. So from now on, when you come to this screen, you'll always know that Mike Tabor is your primary stakeholder. Okay, next thing you need to do, you can stop here, but what will end up happening is the system's going to prompt you to have some kind of an activity, and I'll show you what that looks like. Let's go out to my Kanban view here, and you will notice over in the aftermarket section where I've just added this opportunity, there's a little triangle with an exclamation point. That's because the system is telling you you don't have anything scheduled. You don't have a meeting event, you don't have a task, you don't have a call, and it wants you to do something with that. It's just a little reminder. So what I'm going to do is go back to the opportunity by clicking it from the Kanban stage, and I'm going to go to activities, and let's go ahead and just create a task. So in this case, I'm going to say I want to call Mike Tabor for PO. And I'm going to do that tomorrow. Obviously, I want to fill in his contact information here. And obviously, or maybe it's not obvious, always fill out the factory. That's so that it pulls up on any of our custom reports. From here, just choose save. Now, when we go back to the activities, you can see that there is actually an activity scheduled for Mike. This will also be where you'll see the historical timeline of what has been accomplished or what you have done with respect to this opportunity. It's really kind of handy. You can also, as you see right here, log a call. So from the desktop, let's say you talk to Mike, or better yet, you talk to Tony. All right, so you talk to Tony. Obviously, he is at, Atro. And you just had a call regarding an update on this account. And we'll just put in a test comment, choose save. So that just logged the call, much like you would have done from your mobiles when you guys are out doing your logging calls in the field. All right, so that opportunity has now been created. Again, back to the opportunity view. Now let's say the opportunity continues to progress along. You've had your initial communication, you've had your first meeting, and now you're developing a solution. Again, just drag this over to the relevant stage. And that's really the extent of what you need to do to create a new opportunity. It becomes really relevant and really helpful when you have multiple opportunities, but it's a great way to keep track of your revenue stream. Okay, next I'm going to go ahead and move into the mobile. All right, so here is what my mobile device looks like. I'm going to go down to the SalesForce app and open that up. And I have mine defaulting to opening up to events, so it just shows what I've got going on for the day. But if you hit this little hamburger button down here where it says menu, that brings you up to the sort of the main screen. Now I'm going to hit opportunities. It will always bring up the most recent opportunities, so you can see that Potter Webster opportunity is right there. We can open that up just by tapping it. Alright, and everything is available here from the mobile that was available on the desktop. So for example, you want to see who the related stakeholders are. You simply go down there and touch related. There's your contact roles right up here. Let's go ahead and click contact roles, and that'll bring up Tony and Mike. I'm going to go ahead and hit the back button a couple of times. Hit Potter. There we go. Again, if I wanted to go to details, that's where you're going to see the details of the opportunity and all of the information you've already plugged in. So now I'm going to hit the back button a couple of times to get out to the main opportunity page. And right up here where you see new, that's where you would create a new opportunity from your phone. So you've just made a call. You've just made a call at Potter Webster, and you've seen a bunch of Monroe shock absorbers and realized you could sell them Gabriel. So you're going to click new. This is an aftermarket opportunity. And here we go. Automatically defaults. It's a new opportunity. We're going to give it a name first, and we'll call this Potter. Again, it's the customer's name. We'll call it Gabriel. New program. Click down to the account name, and we're going to bring up Potter again. The factory is going to be Gabriel, and always fill out the type. In this case, it would be new business. I'm going to click done, and up in amount, let's go big or go home. So we'll call this 100 grand. That's done. And then finally, go ahead and plug in a rate. Here in the description field, this was also available on the desktop, by the way. That's just a free form field. You can type whatever you want in there. I use it when I'm developing or creating new opportunities to give me a refresher on what started the whole opportunity to begin with. So in my case, it may have been a conversation with an engineer in the hallway at Daimler. Regardless, it's just a good way to keep track of that. All right, at the end here, we're just going to click Save, and it's prompting me to go in and choose a close date. That's good. So I forgot to do that. So I'll give myself a couple of months on this one as well. I'll choose April 12th, click Done. I'm going to go up here and click Save again, and it is now saved. Okay, so we have this Gabriel program saved on our mobile. Now from here, we can go into Related. We can go to the contact roles, and we can go ahead and add our contact roles by hitting this plus sign. So in this case, let's go back and let's add Mike Tabor. Again, we can assign a role. We can just say he's a decision maker. We'll make him the primary by simply checking the primary box right there. Make sure you click Save. And then the next thing you're going to want to do is add another contact. So let's again hit that plus sign, and we'll add Kevin Hickey. And we'll make him a factory contact. Click Done, and then click Save. All right, and that's it. So we've now created yet one more opportunity. If I hit this hamburger button down here, again, it's going to bring me up to my main page. If I go back and I click Opportunities, there you are at the top because it was a recent opportunity. It's going to show you the Potter and Gabriel opportunity. All right, that's it for how to create it on a mobile. Now, if you go back to, obviously, if you go back to the desktop, all of this information is going to show on the desktop because it's been entered in the cloud from your mobile device. Great. If you guys have any questions, give me a shout. Happy to help. Thanks.